Well, hi everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with Coach Jay Hopson, presented by Bancorp South. We're in the Rolling in Teeny Dale parlor here at the Duff Athletic Center on the campus of the University of Southern Mississippi today to talk Golden Eagle football. And Hop, last Saturday night, the Golden Eagles over in Birmingham at historic Legion Field, and boy, a heartbreaker, one that went into overtime, had a chance maybe to win it, but UAB able to pull it out.
Yeah. You hit it right, John. A heartbreaker. That's what it was. But we'll get back to work, and we have this week, and get ready for the next one. But it was a tough one. Our guys fought hard. Certainly, we had some opportunities there at the end to win it. But again, I was proud of the effort. We kept digging. We kept fighting. We fought our way back, and just a tough one to lose. But that's football.
Yeah, you're right. You got off to a really good start. You jump out to the lead on those guys, and then they able to get back in it in the third quarter, but didn't look very good for you guys because you fought back, able to tie it up, and had a chance to win it in regulation.
Yeah, we did. It was again, it was a back and forth ball game. I thought I got proud of our football team, proud of the fight, proud of the effort. We just certainly it was a tough one to swallow. A lot of broken hearts, coaches, players, managers, you name it, trainers, everybody. But again, it was a hard-fought effort, and we need that same fight this week.
Talk a little bit about the defense. I thought they had a really good night. They kind of, limited UAB in what they did. We did.
We played pretty well defensively. I thought we did a good job stopping the run. We had a few missed executions on some big plays, but I really felt like they played hard for 60 minutes, and certainly I had a couple of critical big turnovers, takeaways, and that was critical in getting us back in the ball game.
Offensively, Tate Watley makes his second career start. Talk about the offense a little bit. What did you see that you liked, and where do you still
we
think
got
to
protect the quarterback better. I mean, that's reality. But we made a few plays. I thought Quez had a good game. I thought Tate, he's such a fighter. He keeps getting back off the ground and keeps fighting, and certainly want to run the football better than we have, and those are things we've got to make sure we do better, run the football better, and take care of the quarterback better.
I know you were talking early in the year about how you needed to get some more, as Coach Billings calls them, takebacks, and you did in that ball game that set you up in some good field position.
But we did. We had a big pick by Kyle. That was kind of a difference maker play that kind of set up the change there and got us an opportunity to tie the ball game up, and then I thought the pick by Ty Williams was huge. Just Ty, we tried to get it down. He got it down to about the 36, but Parker had strained his groin, and just talking to Parker when we were on there, because I was going to kick him then, but he said we needed to get to the 25, and so we had 16 seconds to go, and we tried to throw a little out route near the sideline, and that was incomplete, and then we were down with 10 seconds to go, and now you're in a scary situation, John, because you don't know if you throw the ball and it's complete and you don't get out of bounds, the clock runs out. So kind of like Alabama did against Georgia on that deal, we try to maybe take one free shot and see if we could make something happen where they weren't expecting it, and wound up getting that one picked off, which was kind of a tough one. But then we went into overtime and fought hard, and kicked a field goal and got up and had them on 3rd and 2, and again, one of those deals where just kind of we came through the gap. There's kind of like two ships passing in the night, which is tough, but they found a way to get in there, and the young man from UAB busted it about 20 yards for the touchdown, the winning touchdown. So it was a hard one. Anytime you lose in overtime, boy, those are tough.
All right, enjoy our features this week. We'll come back after the features and talk about what's coming up for the Golden Eagles, the final regular season home game for Southern Miss against Louisiana Tech. That's coming up later in the show here on Southern Miss Sports Today.
Well, the thing that made me want to be an Eagle, really, I didn't really follow college sports and stuff, I'd say, until really after my sophomore year, my biggest year in high school. And then everybody started looking at me and stuff, and Southern I think they're one of the first schools to really get in contact with me. So from that, and then, they're close to home. an hour away, so I can just go down to the coast. And I mean, I like to fish, so I basically, I mean, even after the games, it don't matter what game it is, I go home and go fishing right after the game. And another thing I like is probably the family part, the tradition and stuff. We're all, like we say, 11 brothers, and I like that about the team. Well, sports in high school, I'd say, I mean, I did run track and I played football. That's the two primary. Back in Little League, I played baseball. I wanted to continue to play, but I just really never got around to it. But I'd say football is probably my most favorable sport. The reason I focus in on football probably would be just the hype, and I just like the contact sport. And I mean, when you score touchdowns, that's a great feeling. I mean, you can't beat scoring touchdowns. And I don't know, there's just something about football that's just different from every other sport. All right, so in my spare time, I mean, I'd say 99.9% of the time I'm gonna be fishing. I mean, that's just, I've been fishing since, really on my own, I'd say 8th grade or freshman year. I used to, when I didn't have a car, we lived right by the back bay in Biloxi. So I used to ride my bike across the bridge like early in the morning down to the back bay and just sit out there. I'd sit out there from like anywhere from 7 a.m. all the way to like 4 p.m. even if I wouldn't catch anything. I mean, I don't know, there's just something about just being out there and fishing. And then, I mean, even now, I mean, people on the team, they be calling me crazy and stuff from, like, we'll get back from like at 3 a.m. from a away game, and I'll just get on the road and pack all my stuff and go home and be up at like 6 in the morning fishing the next day and still have to drive back the same Sunday to be back for class. So far, the only person that I've taken fishing is Marcelo. I mean, we were roommates back last year in McCarty, and you know, it was actually like a snow day or something. They let us go early, and I mean, we all packed up and we all went home. And he asked me to come. He has to come with me, so I brought him down there, and I told him we're gonna go fishing. And I mean, it's snowing up here, so you know, down there it's about 7 in the morning. It's 40-something degrees. So we go out, we get in the kayaks, and look, he said he'd never been in a kayak before. So I tell him, you know, wait on me and stuff, and he's just getting in his kayak. I'm like, all right, you can do whatever you want. So he gets in his kayak, and I'm turning around just, you know, fixing my stuff up, about to get in the water. And just, I hear like a splash. So I like turn around, and he's like upside down in the water in the kayak, all cold and stuff. And he's like, man, what are we about to do now? I was like, we still going fishing. You know, it's still 40 degrees out there. He's shivering. I told him, I said, look, we already out here. We're gonna go no matter what. All right, well, when I first got here, my major was marine biology, but I mean, them science classes, I can't really, them things are kind of hard, kind of tough for me, so I changed my major to business management, and I'm gonna stick with that. And I mean, we all want to make it to the NFL. I mean, if I make it there, I'm probably just gonna, you know, invest my money in like some properties and stuff, and that way I'll earn my money that way. But I mean, if not, I'll have my business degree and I'll just do something with that, you know, like real estate or something like that, just to have a good income and support my family.
Well, we're hoping that the winning that we have done and the records that we have set is going to benefit us in recruiting. It's going to give a new energy to the kids coming in for each year. Before, we had no expectation, and we had no idea. I don't think the kids really knew how good they were. And now that we've had a lot of success, they really are going to be excited about the new year coming up, and they're already talking about, hey, we're going to win this and win that. So that's good. It's a good positive energy for us. When we first started the track and field program the summer of 2014, we were just trying to get the best athletes that we could find. Didn't matter what event area. Now we've got a balanced program, so we always want to be good in the sprints, we want to be good in the distance events, we want to have good throwers and jumpers. So if we have a down meet in any of these event areas, we're still going to be picked up by another event area. So we're never going to have a bad season with the recruiting that we've done and having a balanced team. We're always going to have a good team, no matter if we have a deficiency in one event area or not. Conference USA as a track and field conference is very diverse. You're going to have a lot of excellent teams. You've got Hall of Fame coaches spread out all throughout the conference. We represent a lot of different areas of the country, and you're going to see a lot of foreign athletes, which really enhances the competition. You're going to see some of the best athletes in some of the different regions of our country. But it really is a tough conference. And I think it definitely is not for the meek and timid, for sure. Our schedule is one that's going to allow us to see some of the best competition in the country. We're going to compete against the SEC and the Big 12 and the Pac-10 and you name it, we're going to see them, and we're going to go up against them and beat them. But we do have two very good home competitions, the last weekend in March and the last weekend in April. And we'll have about 15 teams come to each of those meets, and that's a great chance for our fans to come out and watch our athletes compete. McKinley West comes to mind when we talk about amazing athletes. When you have anyone that has 3 All-American awards in one track meet, that's pretty stellar. You just don't get that at many schools, or that's a coach's dream, basically. He was fabulous. One of the fastest guys that's ever set foot on this campus. I'm biased. I think he is the fastest person that's ever been here. Coach Marshall Bell might have, or Coach Wayne Williams, they might have issues with me, but definitely is a phenomenal athlete. He's going to be backed up by Chedlin Sagis, who's an academic All-American, as well as one of the faster returners in our conference. And then on the women's side, we have a stellar javelin thrower in Callie Jones coming back, and she's going to be exciting to watch her develop. She was just a freshman at the NCAA championships. Our philosophy for the track program, it's ever changing depending on our circumstances, depending on the people we have on our team, the resources we have, but we want to have the best recruiting classes that we can have each year. We're going to do a great job coaching. I don't think there's any secrets there, but recruiting is what's going to put us up over the top and help us to maintain our level of success that we've had so far. So the philosophy is just recruit like crazy.
Been thinking about it since I was a kid.
Mom would be so proud.
If I could do it for a living.
Using my mom's recipes to open up a cupcake shop.
For my daughter to go to vet school.
Singing karaoke in all 50 states.
Captaining my own shrimp boat.
Tell us what you dream about. With the right loan or savings plan, we can make it a reality, no matter how crazy.
That's right. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Keeping you within reach of what matters most. We're Bancorp South, and we're right where you are.
You got me falling hard, sweet baby. You got me falling hard for you. And still, I felt this way before. You know it's true. And still, you got me more and more. Oh, you got me falling hard.
My background is, I'm from Laurel, Mississippi, born and raised. I played football at Laurel High School. We was blessed to win a 4A state championship. I went to Jones County Junior College out of high school. Kind of fell through the cracks, wanted to play D1 ball. I was a quarterback, however, and everybody saw DB in me, but I didn't have no DB film, so I had to go put it on tape at Jones, and lo and behold, old coach Jay Hopson ended up at the University of Memphis, and ended up at the University of Memphis, and we played there, and unfortunately we didn't win many games, but we won a lot of off the field battles and won a lot of off the field adversities, and was fortunate enough, man, played, got an opportunity, got a shot to play, got a tryout for the Seattle Seahawks, and 3 days, just a standard tryout. Pete Carroll told me, he said, look, man, I can't sign you. We got Earl Thomas, Richard Sherman. We got the Legion of Boom, 5 Hall of Famers, and I ain't got room for you. And so the worst thing you can do is go home and stop playing ball. And so I kept playing, kept working out, kept training. And a year later, the Redskins called and worked out for the Redskins. And Jim Haslett ended up signing me. He asked me, can I play special teams? And I told him absolutely. And that roller coaster, played for the Redskins 2 years, got injured, got released, played for 5 different teams in 2015, the Saints, the Colts, the Jags, the Chiefs, just a myriad of teams, and finished up in 2016 on the Jags for 2 years. And it was a blast, it was a ball, had a lot of fun, learned a lot of football, built, developed, and now sustaining a whole lot of relationships that I got a chance to, meet people and run across people. And I've always played the game with a tremendous amount of energy. Like I tell my guys, the Lord didn't choose everybody to play this game. And because He chose you, you better play it with every ounce of passion, everything you got in you. Put it out there on that grass, because He blessed you to do it. And when you lay down, don't regret anything. And so if I could, tell my guys that, I want to be able to show my guys that, well done is better than well said, is what I always tell them. And if I could be that example, and they can turn on my old tapes, my old film, and see me bouncing around and having fun, no matter what the scoreboard say, we're gonna have fun, we're gonna have a good time, because we don't look at the scoreboard. We do it because we blessed to do it. We don't do it for a prize. The prize gonna come if you do it at a high level consistently. And so that's what I try to get around to my guys that I coach, and all of the guys on the squad, man, look, let's go do it, and let's go have fun, and let's have a good time doing it, because this game is taxing, man, and it could take a whole lot out of you if you let it. But you gotta play knowing that, it's a child's game, and it's fun, and it's meant to be fun. And if it's not fun anymore, I'm in it for the wrong reasons. And so sometimes it can suck the life out of you, but I choose to make the game fun. I try to find the bright side, the silver lining in everything that I do. And waking up, being able to play on Saturday mornings is definitely a silver lining for me, especially when we done put all these hours in during the week.
I'm a faculty member on campus in kinesiology, and my academic background is sports psychology. So former collegiate athlete and a former collegiate coach, as is Lauren. And so I think that both of us have a real heart and passion for student athletes and the experience that college athletics can be for student athletes. And that's not just the experience they get on the athletic field, but also the experience off the field. And so our unit, Student Athlete Development, is really about developing them for all of the skills that they're going to need to be successful in life. And so I use a lot of my academic training in sports psychology in our work with our student athletes. And I think it's been a really great opportunity for me, especially, to work with our athletes on campus.
I think the department, the university, and the athletic department have decided this is more important because they see the demands on the student athletes. And you see the staffing meet those needs as we've progressed over the decades of student athletes and their development. The academic support, that has certainly increased over the years. They see, man, these kids have so much to do. They have a full-time school load. They're essentially a full-time job as student athletes. And they're busy doing school athletics, that they do sometimes get, miss that piece, that extra stuff that, how do I balance my budget? How do I stop a minute and breathe? That student athlete wellness piece. And I feel like colleges and just the kids as well in general are realizing I need this, and so they've provided support for that.
I think that when you look at the athlete experience, every unit in the athletic department plays a role in athlete success. And so student athlete development interacts with academics in that we're teaching them some skills on stress management, time management, all of those elements. And we interact with our athletic training staff, working with things like recovery, return from play after injury. And so I think that what student athlete development allows us to do is that we're able to interact with our student athletes at a very personal level and help them fill in any gaps they might be missing in what they're getting in any of those other areas in the athletic department.
Yeah, there was a bit of hesitation at first when I got here, not so much in the programming itself, but time demands. Who are you? What do you want from me in some aspect? And I think that's one thing that's really cool about what we do is we don't want anything from you. We have no agenda other than to help you. But as we've gone on and developed the program over the past, I guess, year and a half now, we've been able to specialize our programming. Whereas we used to, take these broad strokes and have a program with a particular topic and try to get all the student athletes or as many as possible at that particular program, and it just doesn't meet their needs in terms of time and scheduling and just all that. So we've taken an approach to where we target team by team and are able to get that team. What do they need? What do their coaches and what do those players think that they need, and are able to help them in that way. So I think in developing and changing our approach, we've created some trust and some more buy-in as well.
Well, one of our features, as you were able to see just a couple of minutes ago, was on Golden Eagle wide receiver Tim Jones, young man out of Biloxi, Mississippi. And Hop, here's a guy who's really sort of emerged this year as one of the best receivers in Conference USA.
Yeah, he is. Tim is a young man that, again, he's multi-talented. I think he excels in all areas of the game. He's an excellent pass catcher. He runs really good routes. He can run. He can block. There's really not a phase of the game that Tim can't do, and we're certainly blessed to have him. And he's had a really big year for us this year.
When you guys recruited him out of Biloxi High School, he came from Biloxi High School. Did you suspect he was going to be that type of player?
We did. We felt like he had a big upside and a big potential. We knew he had good size, good strength, and good speed, and that's all. You're checking off 3 boxes right there. But Tim's a young man that is serious about being good. He's a dedicated football player, and I think you're just going to see him get better and better. And one of those young wide receivers. That's one of the neat things about this team. A lot of young guys on the offensive side, and again, particularly at that wide receiver spot. Yeah, we do. That's a good bunch. I tell you, it really is. When you talk about Tim and Quez, and you got Jalen's out right now, but you got those 3. And you look at Trevor's just a year ahead of him, but DeMichael, all those guys will be back, and again, there's a lot of talent in that group.
All right, now we got Louisiana Tech coming in this weekend against the Golden Eagles. They're off to another good start this year, but this is one of those games where you can throw the records away. It's Southern Miss and Louisiana Tech, one of the longest rivalries in Golden Eagle history.
Well, it's going to be a hard-fought football game. Another good Conference USA opponent. Louisiana Tech has our utmost respect. We say it every week. I always tell you I'm a worn-out record with that, but again, we know we got to be ready to play. We got to continue to have a good week of practice, and we got to continue to prepare up into game day. And again, it's going to be a hard-fought battle.
And one thing's for certain: whenever these two teams get together, and we saw it last year, I guess, overtime game, and they always seem to go down to the wire. So I mean, you got to play 60 minutes of football, sometimes more than that, to come out on top.
And that's kind of been our tale of the tape, and certainly we hadn't had the ball balanced real well for us this year. There's not one game I don't think we hadn't been in almost on the last drive, but we're going to keep knocking at the door and keep chopping wood, and we're going to hope for our fortunes to change.
You got compared to other years, you've got a small senior class. This will be the last time that they more than likely play in the Rock in their Golden Eagle careers, but there's some guys in that bunch that in their own kind of unique ways have really made great contributions to this program.
Yeah, just a special bunch of guys, you know, guys that will be will be missed. You know, I think about a lot of those seniors and what a great bunch of guys, and they're fighting hard, and they've been really good leaders. So we want to send them out right. You know, that's something on senior day, but it's a group that's special to my heart, and appreciate all their work and dedication.
I would think too, and I know how you're kind of an emotional guy, and you love those players. I would think the old head coach, it's a pretty emotional day when you see those guys out there for the final time.
And it is, because you know the journey they're about to embark on. When you're a senior, you feel it, but you really don't understand it. It doesn't really hit you till a few years down the road. But again, it's a special day, and certainly we can't thank those guys enough for what they've meant to Southern Miss football.
All right, Hop, thanks as always for the visit, and we'll see you on Saturday. Let's go get a win over Louisiana Tech.
Thanks, Cox.
All right, Coach Jay Hopson and the Golden Eagles against the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech, a Saturday afternoon game at the Rock, and the final home game for the Golden Eagles here in 2018. Don't forget, Mondays we're at Georgia Blue for the Golden Eagle Hotline, so we'd love to have you come out, join us, sit around. We'll talk a little Golden Eagle football. That'll do it this week. Have a great week, everybody. See you next time with another inside look into Golden Eagle football.
I am more than just your local pharmacist. We eat at the same restaurants, and we give back to our community. At Rogers Family Pharmacy, we are dedicated to keeping you and your family happy and healthy. Download the Health Mart app to your mobile device and easily enter your refills, pill reminders, and so much more. Rogers Family Pharmacy, where we treat you like family. Health Mart, caring for you and about you.
Hey Southern Miss fans, it's Toby Barker, Mayor of Hattiesburg. Mickey Spagnola once wrote, "If you're going to war and you get to choose first, choose Southern Mississippi. Always choose Southern Mississippi. Don't fight Southern Mississippi, because no matter how hard you fight, those folks will fight harder." His words capture the character of our institution and our city. We here in Hattiesburg are writing a new story, one where we rise to our challenges with great excitement, one where we push our city to reach its potential, and most importantly, one where there is real partnership between the University of Southern Mississippi and the city of Hattiesburg. Southern Miss is vital to our city's success, from the quality of life it provides through athletics and the arts to the talent it cultivates in the classroom. We share a common destiny. Hattiesburg is proud to be Mississippi's college city, and we hope as we go forward you'll join us in supporting our Golden Eagles this season as they go to the top.